Wow, this arc was absolutely incredible. I just finished watching the final episode of the Captain Kuro arc, and I can't believe how amazing this was. Considering it was only a few episodes long as well, it feels like how invested I got in these characters and this story was insane. But I'm getting a bit ahead of myself. Let's talk about the episode so far. So in this episode, we got the conclusion to everything basically, and that was Luffy versus Captain Kuro, and that ended in the most satisfying headbutt I think I've ever seen in my life. Literally, Luffy came from downtown. I couldn't believe how hard that headbutt was. Like it made me jump, bro. Like out of like excitement. Do you know what I mean? The way that Luffy just completely knocked out Captain Kuro like that with, like I said, one of the most vicious headbutts of all time was amazing. So satisfying to see Captain Kuro finally get like smacked around like that. Do you know what I mean? Especially after everything he's done, everything he was saying that he wanted to do, and how he was just awful as a person and to Kaya and all that sort of stuff. It was so satisfying to watch. Even during this fight, at the end, the captain, his pirates, the Black Cat pirates, even turned on him because uh, Captain Kuro admitted that he was going to kill them all in the last episode regardless, and he even started attacking him in the last episode. So his own pirates sort of turned on him, and there was a moment where Luffy would like sort of talk to him, and he was like, "You can't cheer me now, just because I'm beating him up, and he threatened to kill you. You can't start cheering me." I thought that was really funny. But yeah, the conclusive headbutt was one of the most satisfying things ever. Do you know what I mean? Watching him finally get what's coming to him, and it be delivered like that was actually perfection. This fight was great, and seeing Captain Kuro actually get his comeuppance was even better. Also, Usopp and Zoro managed to save Kaya and the Usopp pirates by taking out Django. It was only appropriate that Usopp was the one that saved Kaya. This whole story really was based around Usopp and Kaya's sort of little relationship they have. So the fact that Usopp did save her only made sense. And seeing Django get his head basically taken off with the slingshot was great to watch as well. But yeah, Django's been defeated. Captain Kuro was literally sent away in the ship with his pirates. That sort of turned on him in the end. So I wonder if we'll ever see them again. I don't know. We'll have to see. But yeah, they actually did it. Kaya's still alive. Captain Kuro has been sent away, and yeah, this arc was incredible. But that was just like the first 5 minutes of the episode, basically. The rest of the episode basically focused on the aftermath of this fight and everything that had happened up to this point. And one of the things that happened was Usopp has now disbanded the Usopp Pirates because he wants to go off and be an actual pirate, explore the seas and everything, and actually like sort of live his dream, live up to what his father does essentially. And he disbanded the Usopp Pirates, which was quite sad to see. All the kids were crying. And it had like a little flashback to when they all first met and the Usopp Pirates actually started, and they're all just kids basically just playing pirate together pretty much. It was quite sweet to be honest, but it was sad that it had to end. But yeah, now Usopp wants to be an actual pirate. He wants to explore the seas like his dad, and we actually got a bit of context as to why Usopp does what he does, why he goes around and lies or exaggerates all the time. And that's the fact that when he was younger, obviously his dad went off and became a pirate and his mum was sick, and he basically his way of coping with this situation was going around telling everybody that pirates are coming. So in the hope, it was more like a wish, hoping that one day pirates would actually arrive and it would be his dad coming back. And his mum actually died. She wasn't just sick; she died, and that was like his way of coping. And it was also the reason that he did what he did with Kaya. The reason he went to her and told these stories and stuff like that, because he's been through the situation with both of his parents dying and stuff like that. So it gave some context to that, and it was actually really like heartbreaking seeing him as a kid, lying about, when you get extra context for all these things, it makes you understand Usopp a little bit more, because why was he like that, because he is a really nice character. He's got a really kind heart. Why does he decide to go around like lying and be mischievous to the village and all that sort of stuff? And that's why it was essentially like a coping mechanism for him. So we got extra context for that. We also saw that Kaya is now out of her bed and walking around the village, which was nice. A huge part as to why she was bedridden was the grieving over her parents. And after everything that's happened, she's managed to sort of overcome that a little bit, especially with the help of Usopp. She said specifically Usopp made her feel better about, like, cheered her up a little bit. which I thought was great. I imagine that was Usopp's goal all along, was just making her feel better, and now she's out of bed. Yeah, that's really nice to see. And even the villagers say they like miss Usopp because he's not going around, doing his daily routine of shouting about the pirates. Even the villagers sort of miss him because that gave him motivation to go out and do something as well. So it was just nice how this all wrapped up. It really was. Also, and I completely forgot about this, now Luffy's crew has a massive boat. I forgot that was the whole reason they came to this island in the first place. But Merry, Kaya's butler, gave them a massive boat called the Going Merry, and now Luffy's crew have a new crewmate in Usopp, a massive boat, and they saved a whole bunch of people. Like, happy days. This arc was so great. It was heartwarming and heartbreaking and tragic and beautiful all at the same time, with absolutely incredible and conclusive ending. And we're so early on in the series at the moment, but I can tell I'm in for something amazing with One Piece. So just based on this arc alone. So yeah, this arc was amazing.